Hey, welcome to another episode of Music Tips and Reviews with JG. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. I was just thinking today about Jay-Z. Hate him or love him. He has grown to be one of the greatest rappers of all time. Either you like it or not. He has grown his brand, and I think that's a key to Jay-Z's greatness. A lot of people credit Beyonce as a person who kind of propelled his career to another level, and I don't believe that's true. I think he was already, he obviously was one of the greatest rappers before Beyonce, but of course, being married, it does, it's benefits to being married to someone else. Especially, Beyonce being at the status she is. But just thinking of the genius of Jay-Z, from a rapper standpoint to a business standpoint, a lot of people hate on him because he may, cater to this certain corporation, NFL. He's head of a certain part of the NFL, as far as the halftime shows, as far as the performances. He's in charge of those things. But I want to look at the genius of Jay-Z first from a rapper standpoint. I believe, and I might be wrong, but the first person I heard, that really got in the studio and never really wrote anything down as far as a lyricist, as far as a rapper, it's Notorious B.I.G. Biggie. It's known that he never wrote anything down, and I think Jay-Z carried that notion. When he went inside the studio, he decided not to write anything down, and I've heard that he working with other rappers. He encouraged other rappers not to write anything down. And I kind of carried that, as far as me songwriting, R&B, songwriting, in general. I kind of took that trait as well. And I feel the freedom, of just coming from my head, especially with the innovation of technology. You can think of an idea and you can put it down and then go to the next phrase, the next line, rather of the song, and really be organically creative as far as the process of recording music or writing music. And so it's very different these days. And so just the genius of Jay-Z as far as not writing anything down. And I know all of you, especially, you're really into music. You watch the video of Timbaland and Jay-Z in the studio, how Timbaland was so amazed how Jay-Z never write anything down, and he has some of the greatest lines of all time. And of course, people hate on Jay-Z because he may bite a lot of rappers, especially Biggie. But we have to think of Jay-Z as a whole, as a person that has a great delivery, a rapper that has a great delivery. I believe his delivery propelled him to where he is as well. I always love Jay-Z's demand of a song. When he comes on the song, it's like I'm confident that I'm gonna kill this verse. And just the genius. Even if the line is not the best line he ever did, but he rap it, like it's his best song. And I think a lot of rappers, especially these days, we have to go into a song, and I see a lot of still veteran rappers. They rap on songs like this is their first, break, and I think a lot of these new rappers need to come on songs like that as well. They need to learn from these veteran artists to really, go in, when they creating a song and really make the song their own and really demand the song. And I seen that in Jay-Z, when he get on a song, it's Jay-Z. And that comes from, not only being a rapper, but also being a brand. He's made his career becoming a huge brand. You know, being Jay-Z. You know, every time a song drops and they say Jay-Z is on the song, everybody goes crazy. You know, we have to have a song, but we have to play this on the radio because Jay-Z has made himself into a brand. And I feel like Jay-Z songs, I feel it's the most memorable lines as far as a rapper is concerned. And I can put 50 Cent in that category. I can memorize a lot of songs that 50 Cent has written as well, as far as being a lyricist. You know, but 50's career is still going, but the longevity of Jay-Z career is obviously longer. And, you know, so many hit albums, you know, so many, you know, just his track list as far as in his catalog of music is so legendary, you know, as far as his albums from, you know, Reasonable Doubt to 444. You know, there's so many great songs on each album, so many classic songs on each album. And, you know, you can't hate Jay-Z for that, you know, for those things. But going back to Jay-Z as a rapper, you know, his rhymes are so memorable, and it's so amazing because he doesn't write anything down. And I love his wordplay. And sometimes I notice with his flow, sometimes he may rhyme words that it's not meant to be rhymed, you know. And I think Kanye kind of took that style as well. When he started rapping as well, he can rhyme words that don't really make sense to rhyme, and he make it make sense. And so it's a lot of things, you know, people have to consider, you know, before they say, "Oh, I hate Jay-Z." I think in a way it's a lot of haters as well. A lot of people just want to hate because Jay-Z is who he is. You know, he's a huge brand, and I think a lot of, you know, set aside a lot of things, a lot of allegations, a lot of things that people may say about Jay-Z. But as far as a lyricist, as far as a person that's confident in his flow, confident in his delivery, he's one of the greatest. And you know, the magazines, the news, the sources always put him on top because the way he carried himself as a brand, as a whole brand, you know, the way he evolved as the way he dressed. You know, he used to wear baggy stuff, you know, Roc-A-Wear. He used to sell the Amadale, you know, liquor and stuff like that. And then he merged into a huge corporation, you know, Roc Nation. Just so many deals, you know, NFL, like I said, Tidal, you know, he's part of Tidal, or one of the heads of Tidal. And so, you know, he has merged into a huge businessman. I believe, you know, hanging around, you know, like Warren Buffett and stuff like that has made him, you know, who he is as a brand. And so I just want to do this video so we can think about it, you know, set aside the things that we see as far as the allegations and stuff like that, as far as Jay-Z. You know, I've always been a huge Jay-Z fan. And so, again, leave a comment on what you think, you know, about this discussion, you know, about Jay-Z, the genius of Jay-Z. And so, again, appreciate y'all for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. And until next time, peace.